Welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name's Katie, this is the Katie Cat Nails channel, and today we're going to be doing the birthday collab for Isms by Josie. Thank you so much, Josie, for inviting me to your birthday collab. I'm truly honored to be here, and this is the nail set that I chose to try to recreate. I definitely had some big shoes to fill on this one because this was one of her Night at the Improv videos, and if you're not familiar with Josie or her channel, that is one of her Night at the Improv videos. She does a bunch of different things on her channel, always super creative. She goes outside the box consistently. So this was one of her Night at the Improv sets, and basically, so what her Night of the Improv is she will take ideas. Oh, that's her channel. I must have put it late in the video, but that's Josie's channel. Go check it out. Like I said, she does some really cool things over on her channel. She's very creative. So this, like I said, was one of the Night of the Improv sets. I believe it was. Yeah, it was, because she was spinning wheels. Okay, yeah. So this was one of her Night of the Improv sets. And so what she does is she, one of her viewers, I believe, one of her subscribers, you guys can enter like your design ideas. And the one that came up was picked by Barbie Girls Nails 222. And it was dragonflies. So that was what she had to base her whole nail set on. And then there are several other wheels that choose like product, and there's like something else. I don't remember the exact other one, but I was lucky enough because I did win a box from Varnail recently, and I actually had one of the products that she had, so I was able to do the first nail basically with the same color she did. So that was really cool. So at least I was able to do some stuff kind of similar to what she did, so that kind of made me feel like I was like in the process as well. And Josie's process is always so cool. Like, she explains everything, just like her thought process is just so unique and so cool. Honestly, sometimes I feel like she explains, not explains things like me, but she kind of sees things outside the box, kind of sort of how I do, so I relate to her and her designs that way. And I also like how she like relates certain things to other things. I don't know, it's just really cool, her thought process. You definitely have to check out her channel and her videos because you'll definitely understand. It's hard for me to explain somebody else's thought process, you know what I mean? But it's definitely something that you have to see for yourself, so go check out her channel. She has some really cool stuff. She does crochet. She has all these like cute little plushies that she does. She does like a cultural thing. I'm so sorry, I forgot what it's called, Josie. But it's where she like picks a country and she does a nail set based off of the food, the flag, the music, the culture. She gives you facts about the country. She tells you about like, you know, how the country started or who established, and she really gets into it, and you really learn like a lot of really cool stuff about all these places. So I think that that's another awesome thing that she does. She's also an ambassador for Varnail, which is a lot of the products that I am able to use here for you today because I won a giveaway from Varnail. So again, thank you so much to Varnail for hosting that giveaway. And I hadn't really had an opportunity to use many of the products yet, or I haven't like made it a point to use any of the products yet. So doing a recreation of one of her designs where she did use a lot of Varnail products, it was kind of a cool opportunity for me to kind of put that in place and use the stuff that I had won that I just hadn't necessarily reached for, which also reminded me that I had this amazing neon jelly. So definitely going to be trying to do something with that coming up because this color is just absolutely amazing. But yeah, so I didn't have all the colors that Josie had, so I just kind of improvised. So in Josie's rendition, Josie's original design, the base color for the previous nail I just did was actually like a really beautiful kind of like, I think it was like shimmery, glittery type of bluish purple shifting. It was gorgeous. I believe she said it was like Midnight Sky or something like that, but it was from Varnail, I'm pretty sure. And it was absolutely gorgeous. It had a really cool name, like something mystically or like spacey. I don't remember, but it had a really cool name. So what I did was I took the blue that I had and I put the purple cat eye over it, and that's just kind of my attempt at something close to it, because I wanted to try to use predominantly Varnail products for this, just because that's what she did, and I just felt that it would be really cool to just try to, okay baby, that it would be really cool to just try to use as many as I could. So I also got this really pretty chrome from Varnail in the box that I won. So that was really awesome. So what I did was I ended up putting it all over the yellowy green. Sorry about that. The baby was opening and closing the door. But yeah, I forgot exactly where I left off and started. But so I put that all over the yellowy green, and I think it gave it like a really cool kind of like bright olivey color. It was definitely super, super pretty. I love this chrome. I did use the chrome again in this video. So there's some things that I omitted just because I am, of course, as usual, doing this design the day of the freaking collab. And, you know, I didn't want to bog myself down doing everything that she did, because she included some stamping, she included a whole bunch of stuff, and I didn't really want to do any stamping, but if I remember correctly from her video, she included the stamping because she was dying to use a particular plate that she had, so that's why she included the stamping. So I just kind of omitted that part just because that was definitely a big her thing. She like really wanted that stamping plate to be included, and she's not wrong. It was a really cool freaking stamping plate, okay? So definitely go check out that video. I'm gonna make sure that I link it down below in the description box. You can go ahead and subscribe to her channel from there and just go ahead and check out the stuff that she has going on. I'll also have the list of everybody else that participated in her birthday collab down below with their channels linked. I'll tag them. Go check them all out too. If there's a playlist, I'm gonna pin it in the comments. I don't know if there is yet. I think the next video starts in 26 minutes. So there's only been one video so far that I know of. So there might not be a playlist. So what I'm doing here is one of the other things that she had spun the wheel for was flocking powder. So she had to include flocking powder in her design. So I included flocking powder in my design, and this was genius. So I had gotten this, I'm gonna put the name of it. I don't remember the name of it right now. I'm up in my bedroom hiding. Hopefully we'll see how long that lasts. And so of course the first thing I did when I pulled it out was I spilled it all over the place, right? First time I've ever used flocking powder. But she's onto something, because this was a fantastic idea. And in her video, she called it, it reminded her of, and this is one of the things, like, how she kind of relates. So she related the flocking powder dragonfly to some really expensive wallpaper. And I loved that, because I remember being in like in a relative's house when I was a kid, and them having like wallpaper that was like embossed. And I remember that. So that was really cool how she, you know, linked the two together, and, you know, it just makes you look at something a different way. And it's really cool the way that Josie views the world. Of course, she's an architect, so like she views the world in a different way, you know, like steps, building steps. Like, it's really cool. It's really cool to see her process and see how she does things. So I'm so sorry, I forgot that I was like saying something about the gel that I used to create this. So what Josie did was she matted all three of the nails to kind of give them like a cool shimmery background, but so that the designs would stand out. And so I'm using this Glitz something or other gel. I will go ahead, you know, Glitz accessories and such. I'm gonna go ahead and link it down below in the description box. Susie had sent it to me. It's like a rhinestone gel type thing, and it sounded like it was as close to what Josie had used in her video to do this. So I just kind of used what I had that I thought was the closest. I think it came out pretty well. I think it worked pretty well. I thought that this was super creative, and yeah, it's so cute. This like little felt animals, like, I don't know if you were in school, if you remember what I'm talking about, but during art class, or like when you were really, really young, like kindergarten and first grade and all, you know, all those primary grades, they would do like, you know, cute little arts and crafts, or like puppet time, or, you know, the shapes, the different colored shape blocks and stuff like that. And I remember one of those things being little felt. You could take little pieces of felt and create like art out of it. And that's what it reminded me of, you know, with the flocking powder, is it reminded me of felt. So it kind of felt like I was creating felt animals. That's what it felt like. I was creating a felt dragonfly. So yeah, so that was really cool, and I think that it came out super cool. I have a hard time with keeping things symmetrical, Another thing that Josie has under her belt, because she is an architect, and symmetry is definitely something that I would assume would be super important with that. So she definitely has an eye for that type of thing. She definitely has an eye for, you know, like the small details, the little details. I'll explain a little bit more what I mean about that when I get to the next step. And yeah, she's super, super creative, super positive, super cool, super awesome. Like, her lives are so cool. She's so down to earth. She'll have her little drinky poo and do her lives, and it's always a great time. So now this nail drove me crazy. Okay, so this is going back to what I was saying about Miss Sandra's sparkly sets, saying that Josie can draw. Yes, she can. Miss Architect, she can draw, okay? Because my problem is I can never leave anything alone, okay? You see how I had to fix it like 3 different times and then ended up ruining the whole thing. I think that I started over 3 times, and the 3rd time is the one that I ended up keeping. But so Josie spun the 3rd wheel, and the wheel landed on line work. So what she did was, to stay with the dragonfly theme, was she decided to do a dragonfly with black liner gel. So thankfully I had the same MADAMGLAM black liner gel, so I was able to use the same product as she did. So that was really cool. I was trying to stay as consistent to the video as possible. I really didn't want to stray too far from what she had done. I did omit the stamping, just because, you know, again, I was trying to make sure that with a shadow of a doubt that I was done on time, the video was uploaded, and you know what I mean, yeah, all that good stuff. I did not want to be late today, okay? So yeah, so of course, you know, but I restarted a couple times, and I think that my dragonfly came out really well. Hers was absolutely gorgeous. Again, I have a thing with symmetry. I'm not very good at doing the same thing on one side as I am on the other. So, of course, you're going to notice that in the wings. I still think that it came out really good. So basically what I did was I just followed along with her steps. I had her video up on my laptop, and I was just following her video step by step. And that's another great thing about Josie. She's very good at, even if she doesn't verbally explain what she's doing, the way that she films her videos, you can always see each individual step. Like, she makes it very easy and very clear to see what she's doing. And I find that super awesome about her videos, because even if it's not a video where she's giving you exact step-by-step instructions, which is also something she's very good at, is explaining how to do things, but she records and she does her art in a way that you can follow along with her. So I was very grateful for her recording the way she did, her dragonfly the way she did. You do miss out on how to do the wings, but you know, shit happens, right? And I'm not good at wings anyway, so they probably would have came out looking the same. But another thing I'm talking about, like how Josie pays attention to the little details. So I know my little guy here was kind of looking like Earthworm Jim for a second, but I noticed how when she was doing her dragonfly, she added the little eyes for detail. And that was such an important detail, because that really made you realize that you were looking at like a dragonfly and not Earthworm Jim. You know what I mean? So she has like those eyes, those eagle eyes for details. It's just so cool to learn from her and see the things that she's creating. And she does amazing 3D art. There is a 3D element in this nail set coming up that I did follow her. I did follow basically what she did. Yeah, so she does really cool 3D art. I remember, I believe the first collab that I was in for her was Miss Jeannie's Fast Food, the Nail Genie SC. She held a fast food collab, and I forget exactly what Josie did. I think she made like a fry container, and the fries went in the container, and I'm pretty sure she like pulled out all the stops. This was a little while ago, so please excuse me. My short-term memory sucks, okay? My short-term memory sucks. but I could tell you everything that happened, like, you know. Anyway, so yeah, she did an amazing job. Like, she just did the most incredible 3D fast food nails, and she just does her own charms all the time. She's so creative. The 3D stuff she can do absolutely blows my mind. Now, one thing that I decided to do that she did not do is I wanted to put chrome over the black liner. So that's what I did. I used the same chrome that I chromed the yellowy green nail with, and I just went over the dragonfly, but I thought it would just kind of tied my nail in with the rest of them, because my nail didn't have like the background that hers did. You know what I mean? So I wanted to kind of, you know, jazz it up a little bit. And that was just me, just because my line work was a little subpar. So I was like, let me just kind of hide all the shit that I messed up with some chrome powder. So that's what I ended up doing. I think that it came out super cute. And I think that it was okay for me to do, because her line work was gorgeous. Her line work needed nothing, okay? Mine needed a little oomph. So, the last wheel that she spun was for charms, okay? And so she decided that she was going to make her own dragonfly charm. She was hoping that she just had a charm, but she decided to make a 3D dragonfly charm. So I tried very, very hard to follow in Miss Josie's footsteps. I tried, okay? Definitely a lot of things that I would change. I've never tried to do this before, but yeah, that's okay though. You know, that's part of the process. You learn, and that's another thing that I love about Josie. She always tells you where she had a hard time, what she did to correct it, what she wants to do next time. You know, she doesn't shy away from the fact that, you know, this is not an exact, you know, this is not a perfect art. Like, you're going to make mistakes. You are going to, you know, it's going to happen. So, you know, I really appreciate that about Josie, because she always kind of like throws in a little bit of, you know, reality. Like, this is what happened. This is what it is. And, you know, this is how I either fixed it or what I would like to work on in the future. And just vocalizing that is very helpful, especially for me, because it helps me give myself a little bit more credit. And it helps me, you know, when I hear other creators and other nail artists and stuff like that say stuff like that, it helps me feel more confident. It helps me feel more like, okay, I just got to, you know, it makes me realize that I can do this. You know, I have to either figure out a way to do it or just calm down. Okay. You know, sometimes I get a little worked up. It's a whole thing. But yeah, it's just super helpful to hear that type of reassuring stuff, especially when you're watching somebody do something new, or like watching somebody do something that you know you want to try to recreate, or that you would like to try, you know, your own version of. It's super, super helpful for all those little tips and tricks, all the little encouraging comments, you know. It's just super, super helpful. And I know I said that, but it really is. And, you know, I've learned a lot from watching her. You know, the little tips that she gives, and, you know, she always just really explains everything. So let me explain what I've done here then, right? So I took the same stuff that I used to draw the felt dragonfly with, and I used it to create the body, which I cured some rhinestones in like she did. And then I did the wings. Now this, I wish I hadn't have done this. This is one of the things I wish I hadn't have done. I wish that I had not colored in the body of the dragonfly with this purple, because so Josie made her charm magnetized, and I'm like, ooh, I want to do that too. I didn't have the little round magnets, but I had the really, like, the kind of rectangle ones, the thin rectangle ones that are technically supposed to be for, like, when you're doing nails and you want all the nail tips to be the right size, you know, you can use those magnets that stack on each other. Well, that's the type of magnets that I had gotten. But I'm like, you know what? It's a long-bodied charm. It's a long magnet. It'll be okay. And I think that it would have been if the base of the dragonfly's body would have been a different color. Unfortunately, because I chose a jelly purple, it kind of blended in way too well with the magnet, and it kind of just turned the body into more of a blob than anything. So, you know, hindsight, you know, something to consider. And you got to think too, it's not just one little circle under the middle of the charm that nobody's really going to see. No, it's like a whole magnet under. You'll see what I'm talking about. So I also added some little purple dots to the wings. And so yeah, so after I cured all of that, I flash cured everything, and then I cured it for 60 seconds in the lamp so that everything was cured. And then I'm gonna take a pair of pointy tweezers and I'm gonna pop each piece up, and I'm gonna trim each piece. Like, I'm gonna cut off the extras from top coating. I'm gonna cut off any of the extra to try to make the wings a little bit more closer to the same size, because one side, as you can see, is more blobby and it a little bit bigger. So I'm just gonna trim those down and make them more even so that like my dragonfly doesn't look like who did it and ran. So yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and let you guys watch this part real quick, and then I'm gonna come back in a second. Okay, so for the last little bit of this, what I did was I went ahead and I picked up each of the wings with my tweezers. I dipped the end of it, that was the very tip of it that was gonna go onto the dragonfly, into the same gel product that I used to do the felt, that I used to create the wings. I'm just gonna dip the very end of it. As you could see the first time, I had to move it out of the way the second time because it was in my way. But I dipped the end of it into the glue, and then I just used my little flash cure lamp to, you know, cure it in place. I held the wing up a little bit so that on the charm the wings would be lifted a little bit. I kind of wanted them lifted. So yeah, that's what I did. I realized once I was editing this earlier that one of them is upside down, but that's totally fine. You know, happy little accidents, you know what I mean? So, but that's pretty much going to be it for my nail art for this collab. I had so much fun recreating this, and let me tell you, I started my base last night, and then I woke up this morning at 8:30 in the morning and was like, oh damn, I was supposed to be up at 4:30 to finish the nail set. So I'm very proud of myself that it is 1:58 in the afternoon and I am finishing up with my editing now. So I just have to add my music and then get her up on YouTube and schedule. So I'm super, super proud of myself that I was even able to do this. And yeah, the video was so easy to follow. So I just appreciate that so much. Just having nail art videos that are just easy to follow and like you can see what the person is doing. You don't have to guess. I'm working on recording my videos to be more like that so that they're more helpful. But you know, she is so great at explaining things and just putting her videos together and showing all the steps. So it was definitely not hard to follow at all. She made it very, very simple. So that was a huge help. And there's my little dragonfly charm. I'm just gonna go ahead and let you guys watch the end of this. My daughter is getting ready to go outside, so they want me to get that all situated. So I am just gonna go ahead and let you guys finish watching this. Thank you so much, Josie, for including me in this collaboration. You know, thank you for all of your love and support since I started my channel. It has been such a pleasure following you and following, you know, everything, you know, in your life and whatnot. And I am just so thankful to, you know, be blessed to be able to say that I know such a, you know, kind, compassionate, courageous, you know, you are just one hell of a woman, Josie. And, you know, I pray that you will get all the things in life that you desire, because you are just so compassionate and caring and giving to others. I see that in, you know, your sister nail mails between those that are closest to you, and just the way that you interact with the rest of us. You know, not that, I don't mean to say it like that, but like, you know what I mean? Just how you interact with everyone, not just your close friends, is just in such a kind, compassionate, and friendly way. And I truly appreciate you being that way and being so welcoming to the newbies like me, and, you know, just allowing us in and sharing all your tips and tricks with us in a super, like, kind, friendly, and non-judgmental way. So again, if you guys have not checked out Isms by Josie, please, the link to her channel, well, the link to the video that I did this from will be down below in the description box. And here is what the nails are looking like. I hope that you enjoy these, Josie. As you can see, the freaking magnet behind the dragonfly made it look boxy and bulky, but I still think that it was super cute. I loved recreating these. There were just so many fun elements. Your night at the improv is freaking awesome. Like, this is such a cool idea. I had so much fun with this, just creating the different elements and following along with you. But yeah, I'm just so thankful that you know, invited me to be part of this collab. And yeah, just thank you so much. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave you guys with, please be kind to yourself. The world is a cruel, unforgiving place, and you are the first step to the things that you want to receive back from it. You know, be good to yourself, and then be kind to others. You know, the more positivity and goodness you put out into the world, the more that there will be for others to share. And I hope you guys will join me for a future video. And happy birthday, Josie!